Hallo, wie geht es Ihnen? Gut? Okay. Hallo, how are you? Good? Ich glaube, Sie gehen gut. I hope you are going good. Okay. Wie Sie schon gewusst, dass ich Dhananjay Dhondial heiße. As you already know, I am Dhananjay Dhondial und ich bin ein Lehrer von Deutsch and I am a German teacher. Und heute lernen wir ein sehr wichtiges Thema, die heißt das Verb. Today we are going to learn a very important topic, the name of which is das Verb. Das ist ziemlich sehr wichtiges Thema. That is quite important topic. Das Verb. Auf Deutsch, das Verb hat zwei Teile. In German, verb has got two parts. The first part, erste Teile heißt stem oder root. The first part is called as stem or root. Und zweite Teil, das heißt ending part. And the second part is called the ending part. Also, es gibt zwei Teile in Deutschverben. There are two parts in German verbs. Stem part and the ending part. The first part, stem part, never changes. It never changes. The second part changes with the change of subject. And this process is called as conjugation of verb. So if one asks you, what do you mean by conjugation of verb? So what is the answer? The ending part of a verb changes with the change of subject, and this process is given a name. We call it as conjugation of verb. Die Konjugation von die Verben. Okay. So as you have come to know that there are two parts. First part is the stem part, second part is the ending part. So on the basis of endings, Germans have got almost all the German verbs end in en. Mind it, I said almost. I didn't say all. It means there are some German verbs which do not end in en. Yes. So that is the second line. Except a few ones which end in en only. So if you see any German verb, most of the verbs you will find ending in en. But there are some exceptions, you know, in all the languages we have some exceptions. So here we have exception. Some verbs will not end in en, but they will end in n. So I'll give you some examples, like you can see here, machen, it is ending in en. Machen means to do or to make. Or gehen, to go, it is ending in en. Kommen, to come. If it is kommen, then it means to come. But if it is bekommen, if you add be before it, so bekommen, its meaning will be to get or to receive. Ich bekomme eine E-Mail von meinem Freund. I receive an email from my friend. If it is ankommen, then it means to arrive. And it is used in case of train or bus, like that. So don't get confused in between kommen, bekommen and unkommen. And they all are ending in en. Then kennen. Kennen means to know. Ich kenne sie nicht. Ich kenne sie. Ja, ich kenne sie. I don't know you. Ich kenne sie nicht. Or I know you, like that. Kennen. But if this is können, it has got umlaut. Umlaut I have already taught you in my previous videos. If you want to know about them, you can refer to my previous videos. Können. Können means can. Lernen means to learn. In English we have the spellings L-E-A-R-N. But here we have L-E-R-N. Don't think as I have committed a mistake here. No. So there is a slight difference between both the languages. Then studieren, which means to study. Lesen, to read. Hören, to listen to. Sprechen, to speak. Schreiben, to write. Sagen, to say or to tell. So you can notice all the German verbs, they are ending in en. You can see that. That was what I told you in the beginning. Almost all the German verbs end in en, but as I told you that there are some exceptions. So we'll go through some exceptions also. Auch durch sagen wir Ausnahmen. Exceptions, we call it as Ausnahmen in German language. So there are some verbs which are ending in n. You see sein, which means to be. To be is a combination of is and are. In English, is and are was verb. These verbs are called as to be verb. And this to be verb in German is called as sein. So it is not ending in en, but n. That's an exception. Verbessern. In German, V gives first sound. I have already taught you in the beginning. Verbessern. It is ending in n, which means to correct or to improve. Ich möchte mein Deutsch verbessern. I would like to improve or I would like to correct my German. Möchten Sie Ihr Deutsch verbessern? Would you like to improve your German? Dann kommen Sie mit mir, then come with me. Okay, the next word is dauern. Dauern is to continue or to last. To last. Zum Beispiel kann man sagen, wie lange dauert diesen Kurs? How long does this course, end or it last? How long it will take? Dauern. Wechsel. Wechsel is to exchange. Exchange, to change or to exchange. Sammel, to collect. Bummel, to stroll. To walk. Okay? Ich mag Bummel. I like to stroll. Feiern, to celebrate. So you can see they are not ending in en, but they are ending in n. And you have no option but to memorize them. You have to learn them. With the passage of time, it will be done. Don't worry about that. So, we have come to know about the conjugation of verb. That means the changing the ending part of a verb with the change of subject is called as conjugation of verb. Now the next topic, before I take you ahead with the next topic, I want to tell you one thing which is very common between Hindi and German is what? German follows Hindi pattern. And what is that Hindi pattern? I will tell you. Even in Hindi, verb is composed of two parts, stem part and the ending part. Stem part never changes, ending part changes with the change of subject. And this process is called as conjugation of verb. Now, all Hindi verbs, mind it, there I told you almost all the German verbs. I didn't say all the German verbs. But here what I say, all the Hindi verbs. I didn't say almost all the Hindi verbs. So all Hindi verbs end in na. So in Hindi we don't have exception here. You take any Hindi verb in its original form, you will see it will be ending in na. No exception here. So like for example, padhna, likhna, uthna, baithna, khana, pina, rona, sona. You say any Hindi verb in its original form, you will see it will end in na. So na is the ending part. So whatever is left with before, what is that? That is the stem part, because I have taught you that there are only two parts, stem part and ending part. Ending is na. So before that, that will be the stem part. And stem part never changes. But ending part changes with the change of subject. And how do those changes take place? For that, I will give you some examples to make you understand the point better. For example, let us do it one by one. So the first tense we are taking up is present indefinite tense. And as an example, I take the word padhna. First, let us understand in Hindi. It will help us understand German better. So in padhna, what is the stem part? Na is the ending part. So it won't change. It won't be changed. Now we'll change how? For that I will give you example. Under this tense, it will be मैं पढ़ता हूँ. मैं पढ़ती हूँ. If मैं is male, then पढ़ता हूँ. If मैं is female, then पढ़ती हूँ. तू पढ़ता है, तू पढ़ती है, वह पढ़ता है, वह पढ़ती है. वो तू is male तो पढ़ता है, तू is female then पढ़ती है, वह is male then पढ़ता है, वह is female then पढ़ता है, हम पढ़ते हैं, वे पढ़ते हैं, and like that. So out of this example you have noticed one thing, and what is that? This part, which is the stem part, remains same with all the subjects. Subjects keep on changing, but stem part remains same. That was what I told you. Now this na changes into ta hun with the subject मैं masculine, and this na will change into ti hun with the subject again मैं but feminine. It will change into ta hai with the subject to masculine, and ti hai with the subject to feminine, and again ta hai and ti hai with वह masculine and feminine. Te hain if the subject is hum, and again with we it is te hain. So this ta hai, ti hai, te hain, ta hun, they are actually replacing this ending part of the verb na, and this process is called as conjugation of verb, and this conjugation is called as the conjugation of present indefinite tense. So in Hindi, those who want to learn Hindi, for example some Germans, they approach you and they request you to teach them Hindi, so you will teach them in this way actually. So by this example you will make them understand about the conjugation of Hindi verbs under present indefinite tense. And the good thing about Hindi language is what? The rest of the verbs will follow exactly same conjugation pattern. So you can give them some other examples of Hindi verbs. For example, you can ask them, okay, if you have understood my point, then you can conjugate the verb likhna under the same tense. They have understood your point. Likhna, in likhna, likh is the stem part, na is the ending part. Likh is not going to change, na is going to change. How? Exactly the changes took place out here. मैं लिखता हूँ, because here you have done ता हूँ. So here the same thing will happen. मैं लिखती हूँ, तू लिखता है, तू लिखती है, हम लिखते हैं, तुम लिखते हो. So लिख is the stem part, is going to remain same. Na is going to be changed exactly the way. So you take any Hindi verb, उठना, so it will be, it will go in the same fashion. मैं उठता हूँ, मैं उठती हूँ, तू उठता है, तू उठती है, like that. So that is the present indefinite tense. Now the next day you will teach him or her or them present continuous tense. Under present continuous tense the verb will remain same, but the conjugation will be different. Like मैं पढ़ रहा हूँ, मैं पढ़ रही हूँ, तू पढ़ रहा है, तू पढ़ रही है, वह पढ़ रहा है, वह पढ़ रही है, हम पढ़ रहे हैं, तुम पढ़ रहे हो, वे पढ़ रहे हैं. So you can see पढ़ remains same with all the subjects, but na is being changed into रहा है, रही है, रहे हैं, रहा हूँ. So the point to be noted by your student will be what? रहा है, रही है, रहे हैं, रहा हूँ. And these are the conjugations of present continuous tense. In the third class you will teach them present perfect tense, and that will be what? The conjugation will be चुका है, चुकी है, चुके हैं, चुका हूँ, मैं पढ़ चुका हूँ, तुम पढ़ चुके हो, तू पढ़ चुका है, तू पढ़ चुकी है, like that. So the rest of the verbs will follow exactly same conjugation. Like लिखना, under present continuous tense, if you want to conjugate it, then how will you do it? मैं लिख रहा हूँ, मैं लिख रही हूँ, तू लिख रहा है, तू लिख रही, exactly. So this is how Hindi goes. Now when you have understood this concept about your mother tongue, it will help you understand German better. Why? Because the German follows the same conjugation pattern, same system. In German, we will go tense wise. First, we will talk about the present indefinite tense. Then we will study its conjugations. For that, I will give you one example. And then rest of the verbs will follow the same conjugation pattern like in Hindi. But that we will do in my next video. So today we have understood what do we mean by conjugation of verb, what do we mean by stem part, what do we mean by ending part, and some exceptions, in German verbs, and all that. So if you have any query, you please ask me, you know, through comment box, or you may call me up. I have my mobile number also, you know, on the screen, or you can see it is displayed there. So thank you very much. Tschüss. Bis morgen.